Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. Chips are the core of today's technology industry and an important symbol of national competitiveness. However, in recent years, the United States has adopted a series of restrictions on China's chip industry due to various considerations. This includes prohibiting U.S. companies from supplying high-end chips and semiconductor equipment to Chinese technology companies such as Huawei. These measures not only bring huge difficulties and challenges to China's chip industry, but also have a profound impact on the global chip industry chain. Against this background, many chip giants have begun to express dissatisfaction and concern about the U.S. government's actions, and have expressed their stance on the Huawei incident. What impact will the U.S. restrictive measures have on the global chip industry? Why do chip giants oppose U.S. restrictions? How will U.S. restrictions affect the global chip industry? The United States ranks first on the list of global chip producers and exporters. It has many advanced chip companies, such as Intel, Qualcomm, Nvidia, etc. As a result, the United States occupies an important position in the global chip supply chain, and its technologies and products are widely used in various fields. However, the U.S. government has taken restrictive measures against China's chip industry out of a sense of threat from the rise of China's technology. The most important one is to include Huawei and other Chinese technology companies on the Entity List, prohibiting the export of high-end chips and semiconductor equipment containing U.S. technology or software to them. This measure has brought great restrictions to China's chip industry, and China still needs to rely on imports for development. The implementation of the ban has made it impossible for Chinese technology companies, such as Huawei, to continue to purchase high-end processors and chips from American companies. This measure not only seriously affected its mobile phone business and 5G development, but also had a profound impact on the global chip industry chain. On the one hand, American companies will lose a huge opportunity by banning the export of advanced chips. On the other hand, chip manufacturers in other countries and regions have also been affected by U.S. restrictions, because they also need to use U.S. technology or equipment to produce chips. Without permission from relevant U.S. departments, they cannot export chips to China. Why do chip giants oppose U.S. restrictions? Faced with the restrictive measures imposed by the United States, many chip giants began to express dissatisfaction and concern about them, and expressed their stance on the Huawei incident. They believe that the United States' actions are not only detrimental to the development of Chinese technology companies, but will also cause damage to the United States' own interests. However, due to the U.S. ban, Qualcomm cannot continue to ship chips to Huawei, causing its revenue to drop significantly. Qualcomm CEO Steve Mollenkopf said in an interview that he hopes to continue supplying chips to Huawei, and has applied for a license from the United States. In addition to Qualcomm, some other U.S. chip companies have also expressed opposition and protests against U.S. restrictions. For example, executives from Intel, Nvidia, AMD, and other companies hope that the United States can relax sanctions on Chinese technology companies such as Huawei and restore normal trade relations. For example, ASML CEO Peter Winick said that ASML will continue to work with Chinese customers and hopes to obtain an export license as soon as possible. The British chip community has also launched a joint campaign against its restrictions. They asked the relevant British authorities to provide more chip subsidies. How does Huawei respond to US restrictive measures and achieve breakthroughs in independent research and development? Faced with US restrictive measures, Huawei did not give up. Instead, it stepped up independent research and development in an effort to break the US technological blockade. Huawei has rich experience and accumulation in the chip field, and its subsidiary HiSilicon ranks among the top among global mobile phone chip designers. However, due to the ban imposed by relevant US authorities, Huawei cannot purchase high-end chips from chip foundries such as TSMC, nor can it use US technology or equipment to produce chips. This leaves Huawei facing a crisis of chip supply cuts. In order to solve this problem, Huawei has adopted two strategies. First, to find other reliable chip suppliers, such as SMIC, Samsung, etc. Second, to speed up the process of independent production of high-end chips, such as building its own chip manufacturing plant, developing own lithography machine, etc. The development prospects and challenges of China's chip industry. Although relevant US departments have exerted tremendous pressure and challenges on China's chip industry, they have also prompted China to accelerate the development and transformation of its chip industry. Relevant Chinese departments and companies have realized the importance and urgency of the chip industry and have invested a lot of money and manpower. China has formulated a series of policies and plans. Chinese companies have also increased investment and cooperation in the chip field. Mobile phone manufacturers such as Huawei, ZTE, Xiaomi, and OPPO have begun to design their own chips, such as HiSilicon, Unisoc, Xiaomi Morningstar, etc. However, China's chip industry still faces some challenges and difficulties. China still has a large gap and dependence in the field of high-end chips, such as 5G chips, graphics processors, memory chips, etc. These areas require a lot of technology accumulation and investment, and cannot be achieved in the short term. And it still lags behind the international level in the field of chip equipment, such as EUV lithography machines, chemical vapor deposition machines, atomic layer deposition machines, etc. These equipment are necessary to produce high-end chips, but currently rely mainly on supplies from the United States and Europe. China still needs to make breakthroughs in related chip materials, such as silicon wafers, photoresists, chemicals, etc. These materials are necessary to make chips, but currently rely mainly on supplies from Japan and South Korea. The U.S. CHIP Act is a technological blockade and trade war implemented by the United States against the Chinese chip industry in order to maintain its leadership position in the global chip market and national security interests. However, the Chinese chip industry is not deterred. China has increased its efforts in independent research and development and manufacturing in an effort to break the U.S. technological blockade, and has achieved some progress and results. China's chip industry has broad development prospects and potential. As long as it persists in its efforts, it is expected to achieve a historic leap from following to catching up to leading.